Hi. As usual, I really don't have any idea what's wanting to be said here, but I know by the feeling in my heart there's like a weight, like a presence of something that's there to be said. And in a miniature way, it feels a little bit like that heaviness that came and that settled in on solstice and took a while to figure out that it was light and that it was blessing. So, I don't know. Anyway, it's almost Christmas. What's the date today? It's the 23rd of December. And this is a time of memories. And due to that, there's a good bit of remembering and maybe some unnecessary suffering going on as we look through the years and we see things with less than perfect vision. Because if we're looking at them and seeing that there was any perfection missing anywhere in anything that has happened to us, that's a flaw and a fault in our vision. And you have to be in heart to hear me. Um, this doesn't make sense to the mind, and I know that. Maybe you got a really good whipping one Christmas and you just fail to find anything good in that. But don't look at it from the perspective of the mind. Um, just maybe accept that it's possible to look with the vision of heart as you have to step back from the mind to really be able to see this. We get attached to our ideas, our attitudes, and our opinions. And because of this, it locks us in. It limits our vision. And so there are things that just cannot be seen as long as we're in that state. And so even if this kind of sounds like nonsense to you, you can still listen to it from heart and maybe just accept the idea that who knows, anything's possible. And just give it a maybe. And then you see if the thing that you've given a maybe has any truth to it, then the alchemy will go to work and will soften things and will bring up in your awareness the various beliefs, attitudes, and ideas that you have that clash with it so that you can have a look at them. And so it's really true. Anything's possible. Um, it's not that I offer season's greetings and I want everybody to be lighthearted and happy and joyful. That's superficial. It can be a superficial kind of a thing. Uh, the cards that our children make for us are so much more precious than anything that says Hallmark or anything like that on it. It's interesting how we have taken and made a commercial industry out of the feelings of heart. Personally, I've never gotten into greeting cards, and I'm at the end of my 5th decade, and so it's just something I didn't choose to participate in, and I'm really okay with that. People know me by now, some out of the love of their heart send Christmas and birthday greetings anyway, and I appreciate that. But I'm just not sentimental in that way. That really doesn't work for me. Um, sorry, that's neither here nor there, I guess. Um, I do have the desire to touch and lift hearts this season. Um, and whether there was a man, Jesus, who walked the earth 2,000 years ago is less important than the message of the birth of Christ and the blessing that is to the world. And the way I see it, Christ is being born in all of us. That's our option. That's our opportunity. And it's not a religion, but just a spirituality, perhaps. I don't even know if it's that. Words get more and more challenging to marshal, to share the deep things from heart, but I think you all know that. That's no surprise. So anyway, I have a journal that I wrote this month. Let's see, 12/17, the first of the day there. And the Mayan day was 10 Serpent. And I don't remember what's in it as usual, but it's called Lockdown and Transcendence on Prison Planet Earth. Doesn't sound very Christmassy, but we'll see. Okay. The body hasn't been strong enough to keep the bird feeders full for the last several years. That and the unwillingness to be bound to anything or to habit not strictly necessary to life have kept my feeders hanging and empty out there. I guess the Christmas card thing fits in with that. Well, thank goodness now is different. On my last trip to town, I came home with 20 pounds of sunflower seed, and the beautiful color and song I'm being treated to now are such a blessing indeed. This was the first year in a while I fed the hummingbirds too, who were so used to coming here before for many years. Did you know that there were banding programs, bird banding programs to follow and test these little ones? It was discovered that the same birds and their nestlings returned to the same place, the same home, even to the same feeders they were used to using. What an amazement. Such tiny things, such long migrations, and such accurate memories. Makes you wonder. They don't have maps and things either, or GPS. I refuse to feel guilty, though, about the years of debility. It just is what it is, and we all do the best we can in general, and that is sufficient. This was more of an inner time for me, and I trust nature and Gaia to care for the dear birds. They are not helpless or dependent. They are free and strong. How free and strong are we? How well do we flow when things go in unexpected directions? Are we open to that? You know, that's what sets mankind off as a different species from many. Our natural sense of freedom, our adventurousness. We've picked up and been taught lots of bad habits along the way of our recent development in this system of worlds, but we're transcending at least some of that now, as we transcend nearly everything. We're going home, capital H, home in consciousness, to our native higher planes and realms of being. Are you ready? I bet you're more than ready, like me. We tire of the harshness of this environment, of this place where we find the self locked down in awareness and in so many ways. Even our memories seem to have taken a vacation from us, leaving us bereft of our awareness of other lifetimes, other lessons learned and mastered. Well, it appears we determined that that was to be part of the fun of this, our experiment here on Terra, on Earth. Tickly nose again. I ask you to keep remembering that you are no victim, not a victim of anything or anyone. You set yourself up for this, as did I. This is our grand adventure, my friends. We just forgot that aspect of things, along with the rest of what we know. So much of that had to be surrendered to do this, to come to the rescue of those in lockdown on this prison planet. Our light being families tried just about everything, I hear, from war and fighting to every way to insert the light here. All were repulsed. None succeeded beyond perhaps a short time when we had small civilizations for a period on the ground, where we incarnated to bring forth the light. Still, none worked for very long. Then their bright teachings were taken over and perverted. Change beyond recognition of most. That's been the way of it. Well, we're not crying in our milk here. That's not our way. No, no, we're the bright stars, and light, shining light, is our only way. Thus, here we are, back yet again, only this time in the many millions of light beings incarnate here. We're doing this waking up thing together. We were not possible to detect by the dark side, for we blended in nicely, being nothing different from the rest of the human race. Now, the onslaught of light comes both from within and without, from the cosmos and from the within of us, the incarnate rainbows and light beams here on the surface of Gaia, of the earth. We've anchored so much light here already that the planet herself is on the rise. Light will not be contained, nor corralled, nor controlled. Light will just shine. That is our way. We are rebellious. We all come in with separate and various parts and pieces of the puzzle. It's only when we lock in on one another's frequency, when we link up, that we begin to see the true majesty of the plan of light. It's an amazing one. We've no clue overall about the bigger plan. It was important that we not, for that would have given us away to the dark ones' advanced technology. Thus, my friends, from one perspective at least, our forgetting so much was quite intentional, even necessary. Feel like victims no more, I pray you. That does no good. It just keeps us down, sets us up to be victimized. You'll bring that on if you're going around feeling like a victim. Please see how we are creators, at least in this small way. What we hold a belief about, we bring about. Dig up and excavate those old, dark, implanted beliefs, those dark attitudes of depression, hopelessness, and despair. They are not you. Throw them off. You've the authority to do that. Just know that you shine. Inside, you know this. We all do. You're not coming to websites like this if you don't. No, some may be imposters, disinformers snooping around. It's true. They do what they can. Be unconcerned. Just don't polarize. That's their desire. That's the seed that they sow. But you need not be subject to this. That's a choice. Let their presence among us help us to move into higher levels of our being. Life and light will see to them, will take care of them. You need not bother. The game for so long has been to keep us in mind and keep us down. Well, they just cannot do that so well anymore. Have you noticed? Cosmic reinforcements, even the light and the radiance itself, have come to the rescue here. We're rising up. No one and nothing can stop us. What is the secret? Well, from my view, of course, it is heart. In mind, they can trap and abuse us. They can't reach you in heart. They've quite lost touch with that in themselves long ago. To them now, both heart and source, God itself, these are just myths. They have no direct experience of them, as we all do. Later, it will be seen that in every way that they oppressed man, they found themselves oppressed in a mirror-like way. As long as we stay in mind, we won't see this. Enter heart. Just trust in the light. The one you need to rescue is only the self. Leave the world to the light. It is quite capable. We don't come into direct contact with light outside of heart. That's why the world's in the shape that it's in. Were we all in heart, it wouldn't be this way. Heart would inspire and impulse each one in the very best way to tend to this or to that. All would be safety and beauty. None would be oppressed or abused or starving, including the earth herself. Don't you know it? So, to rescue the world out there, my friends, the way is to go within. It just works that way, and I don't care one little bit that it doesn't make sense to mind. So what? Since when was mind so brilliant that it deserved to run the show down here? Look around. That's right. No, simply not. Well, each one is responsible to give over the mind, to center in heart, inner body, or whatever you will. Just vacate your headquarters that's been set up in the left brain. It's fine to have a left brain, of course, and to use it when necessary. But as it stands today, it's been a form of abuse to self and others as well. We've all been trapped in there, and it's time to break out. So, take small forays into heart if you must. I know it's strange territory. It doesn't follow any of the highways and byways that the mind is used to. It doesn't follow those rules. Well, big deal. Be adventurous. Heart has its own rules, but they are higher ones. As you rise up, surrender fear, you rise into them. They'll feel so good to you too. They're familiar to the soul. Come into the realization that the part you've been playing is one you chose yourself. We've all been willing participants, the light beings that came to play a part in the rescue of Earth and her people. Let's all set the intent to excavate and eliminate all sense of victimhood here. That just empowers the dark masters who think they are lords, in charge of us and all the planet as well. We're playing parts, my friends. In the joy of waking up, we begin to see the script. We step into the higher, the inner self. We catch on. We find great joy there. Come on in. Shuck the outer awareness there like an old coat. It's simply not you, just a part that you played. You played it so well, you even convinced you. Pretty good acting, I'd say. Well, that's what gods would do, don't you think? Just for some mind expansion, include in your reading list the works of Marciniak and Corey. These, in addition to what the Andromedans have to offer through Collier, will round out your perspective. You'll have Syrian and Pleiadian, the good guy Pleiadian, views to add to your own. It should help. Read from the heart, even if you've read it before. Check it out from heart. And don't be in a rush. A little bit at a time is best to assimilate, to keep up with what you're remembering. You aren't really learning anything new when you read or listen to such things. You're just remembering. That's what we're all doing, you know. We carry codes inside that are firing, both with what comes in on the solar rays, the celestial alignments, and what we take in our reading and our viewing and our visiting with friends. Add to that the alchemy that takes place when we get together with each other, and you've got a veritable explosion of light right here on this planet. And the pace is accelerating too. It's getting breathtaking at times. Solstice is an example. In sheer amazement, I open each day. It's such a treat. One never knows what new goodies have come to life within the consciousness over the night. No, be happy, be joyful, dear friends. Sure, we've had some tough rows to hoe in this earthly garden here, and we have some still, right now and up ahead. The thing, though, is that that's nothing to us. We're not the peons they've convinced us we were. As we throw down those old thoughts and beliefs, get them out, everything changes. It's magical. We're in charge of the change, though. It is a matter of free will, of choice. What choices do you make in each now that presents itself? You can be sure you have invisible helpers there supporting your awakening. It's time to quit thinking so much of these dark overlords as being so very great, so powerful. They're just not. You are. That's what it's time to remember. Here in the land, the dimension where everything's relative, your relative light to their darkness is a bit of a joke. Remember, there's never a dark switch when you enter the room, only light. And what does light do to darkness? Yeah, in a flash, it's like the darkness it never was. Don't be intimidated by this bunch. They're on their way out. Yes, they will yet cause much heartache and chaos as they go. They know no other way. They've been in power so very long now, they refuse to just settle for anything else. They won't go peacefully, and so light is forcing them out. When we open our heart eyes, we see the world of the dark ones come crashing down. Evidence of that is all around us now. Remember, when you engage with the outside world, not to polarize with them, not on anything. That just sustains them and their ways. No, the way is peaceful non-compliance. Just stand back. No violence, no war, no hatred, no judgment either. No such energy. You won't find any of that stuff in heart. So it's a no-brainer. Literally. That's fun. That energy is all theirs. That's just to join their ranks and only think you are fighting against them. That's polarityville. You're being manipulated whenever you polarize. Peaceful non-compliance. Peaceful above all. Have the confidence that the light knows what it's doing and that it's sufficiently powerful to pull this off. This light will act through each one of us. We're not retreating to mountain caves somewhere. This isn't the age for that tactic. We're in the midst of it instead, and that makes it harder, of course, but we're up to it. As you awaken, you see all of this. You just know. Peace. Be at peace within capital P. Everything else will follow. Love and light. Have a blessed time of it, a blessed holiday season. Enjoy yourself. Now let me find the little button to turn myself off. There we go. Merry Christmas.